Fletcher, that I'm coming, you motherfucker!
A slow track in, a drummer drumming, and then an interruption.
I'm sorry.
No, stay.
The man interrupting is Fletcher, a prolific instructor at the Schaefer Conservatory of Music, and he asks Andrew to show him what he's got.
Double time swing.
Eventually, Fletcher leaves without saying anything, and Andrew thinks he's failed. This is the start of Whiplash, and it's how director Damien Chazelle introduces us to a tortured artist. For the rest of the movie, Andrew tries desperately to gain Fletcher's approval, but every time he thinks he's getting closer, Fletcher does something like this. Therefore, this opening scene is a summary of the whole film. Andrew's dream is always just out of reach. Fletcher destroys his confidence routinely.
I earned that part. You never earned anything. God, you are a self-righteous prick.
And he has to work out whether the disappointment will destroy him or motivate him.
Damon. You're done.
This same thing happens in La La Land. When we first meet Mia, she's serving coffee to a famous actress she desperately wants to be.
Cappuccino, please. Right, of course.
Like, look at her, brimming with optimism, motivated, inspired. But then she flunks an audition.
Oh, you know what? I think we're good. Thanks for coming in.
Her dream is crushed, and she has to work out what to do. Moreover, Seb introduces himself as this big defender of jazz purity.
I don't think I'm gonna like her. Does she like jazz?
Probably not.
Then what are we gonna talk about?
Before getting fired from his job immediately for trying to play jazz.
I think I hear what you're saying, but I don't think you're saying what you mean.
Yeah, I don't think you hear what I'm saying. You're fired.
Again, disappointment, has to work out whether to be motivated or crushed. So what connects these three depressing introductions, and basically Chazelle's movies in general? Well, according to the man himself,
it's the failing to achieve what you want to achieve.
And this is what I want to talk about today. Ambition is endlessly fascinating to me, whether you want to work at NASA, write a book, or even something simple like lose some weight. Ambition is primal human programming that we all experience on some level. And I don't think there's a modern filmmaker who explores the fine line between ambition and the more toxic obsession quite like Chazelle.
I'm pointing out that you had a dream, that you followed, that you were sticking to.
This is the dream. This is the dream.
As of 2023, Damien Chazelle has released 4 feature films, and they've all got something to do with people striving for greatness. Andrew, who wants to be the next Charlie Parker, Seb and Mia, who seek Hollywood and jazz immortality, Neil Bloody Armstrong, who was one of the first men to literally shoot for the stars, and Nellie and Manny, who want to be stars.
I think you want to become a star.
Honey, you don't become a star. You either are one or you ain't. I am.
So they all have lofty goals, they're desperate to achieve them, they are the definition of ambitious. But in order to explain what Chazelle is really saying about ambition, we've got to dig a bit deeper.
There are no 2 words in the English language more harmful than good job.
This conversation summarizes Fletcher's ethos, his rule book, if you like, on greatness. He believes that people can't achieve their dreams without a little bit of a push.
I was there to push people beyond what's expected of them.
And while this idea of pushing someone to their limits makes theoretical sense, Fletcher was doing stuff like this.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And this.
What are you? There's no fucking Mars bar down there. What are you looking at?
And this.
Not my fucking tempo!
This isn't a push, it's physical and psychological abuse, something that Andrew rightfully points out.
But is there a line? You know, maybe you go too far and you discourage the next Charlie Parker from ever becoming Charlie Parker.
And for most of Whiplash, Chazelle presents Fletcher as wrong. He's a bad person who consistently crosses the line, which causes Andrew's life to unravel, and we crescendo to the movie's most sinister reveal.
Last month he hanged himself in his apartment.
One of Fletcher's former students commits suicide, which is attributed to the evil conductor's mistreatment.
Sean suffered from anxiety and depression. His mother claims this started during his time as Fletcher's student.
And then
Sean died yesterday
Fletcher openly lies about how he died
in a car accident.
while feigning some sense of connection to the boy. Therefore, Fletcher's ethos is almost universally criticized throughout the movie. But interestingly, Chazelle stopped short of completely condemning his behavior. In the final scene, Fletcher invites Andrew to perform.
need somebody who really knows those charts.
But he intentionally gives Andrew the wrong set list.
I'm using the studio band playlist.
This is no different to any of the other tough love moments in the film, the slapping, swapping drummers, insulting his mother. Fletcher is trying to humiliate him.
You think I'm fucking stupid?
What?
I know it was you.
And it works. Andrew gets embarrassed, he walks off crying, but imbued with a sense of stubborn resilience, he walks back on and plays the best damn drum solo he's ever played. Which begs the question, was Fletcher actually right all along? As Andrew achieves this level of greatness, his own Charlie Parker moment, was Fletcher's motivation what was required to achieve that greatness?
I can play it, okay?
I said not now! If you want the fucking part, earn it.
Now, I'm not going to say yes or no because I think this ambiguity is what makes Whiplash so great, but this idea of dreamers needing a little push is explored in even greater detail in Chazelle's other films.
One day, you and me, we're going to be on a movie set. We can have lunch together.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you
I
come
don't know
over.
what I'm going to do
It'll
yet.
just be you and me.
Yeah, you and me.
For instance, in Babylon, Manny and Nellie jumpstart each other's careers. They meet at a party, encourage each other to achieve their dreams, and instantly get their big breaks. Nellie is a famous actress, Manny is an assistant.
Manuel's great. Put Manuel on it.
But as Manny keeps ascending, Nellie's career goes off the rails, and it's his job to look out for her.
Listen to me, Nelly. I'm here for you. It's you and me. You could be a star again, Nelly.
He even goes so far as to switch jobs when he finds out her career is in trouble.
And we need to do something about Nellie Leroy.
So, similar to Whiplash, Chazelle seems to be implying that dreams require a little motivation from someone else.
Next time, try softer, okay?
And I know you might be rolling your eyes because this is a lesson we've learned from primary school. You can't achieve anything without help. But Chazelle immediately contradicts this statement within the movie.
Let him know that I got here on my terms, not theirs.
Nellie Leroy is constantly reminding everyone that she's made it on her own, she's always been a star, she was born to do this.
Oh, I didn't need your help.
Sure, it's overconfidence, but it's also Chazelle highlighting the pitfalls that come with obsession. Similar to Andrew, she just wants to be great.
So that's your idea of success, huh?
I think being the greatest musician of the 20th century is anybody's idea of success.
And so she ignores people who love her and sacrifices her moral compass in pursuit of a dream.
Oh, that's what this is all about? You think you're better than us?
Catch on quick, and model you in?
And even Manny falls prey to his obsession later in the film, asking Nellie to stop seeing Faye and guilting Sydney into applying blackface.
You're risking all these guys' ability to feed their families over makeup.
Basically, Manny and Nellie lose themselves along the way. They get swept up by their obsession and the initially loving advice.
I just want to be part of something bigger, I guess.
Bigger than what?
Bigger than this.
Evolves into business-like practicality. And sadly, the support system in La La Land follows a similar trajectory.
You're not just an actress.
What do you mean, just an actress?
You said it yourself. You're a child prodigy playwright.
Seb convinces me to write a one-woman show while she pushes him to open his bar.
I made you something.
For what?
For your club.
Similar to Fletcher, they understand the need to
Push people beyond what's expected of them.
But unlike Fletcher, their advice is supportive and loving, and clearly they understand the importance of the other's dream. Hell, even when they start fighting, Seb essentially forces Mia to go to an audition.
Because maybe I'm not good enough.
Yes, you are.
No. No, maybe I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Maybe I'm not.
You are.
And it turns out to be a big break. Mia returns the favor by reminding Seb that he strayed from his initial dream.
I have my own club.
Really?
Yes.
And is now playing music with someone he hates.
This is not your
Guys
dream.
like me work their whole lives to be in something that's successful, that people like. You know? I mean, I'm finally in something that people enjoy.
Since when do
Just
you
'cause I
care
don't enjoy
about
it doesn't
being
matter.
liked?
And
Why do
Seb
you
eventually
care so
heeds
much
her advice and opens his bar. So given that almost all his characters achieve their goals with some helpful or sometimes questionable and dangerous encouragement, I think we can conclude that Chazelle believes that dreamers need this little push. We can't do it ourselves. But on the flip side, is the dream even worth it?
I want to be one of the greats.
And I would stop you from doing that.
Yeah.
What are you willing to sacrifice to achieve your dreams? How much are you willing to bleed? And who are you willing to lose? These are the somewhat depressing but definitely realistic questions that dominate Chazelle's stories. Even when the characters apparently win, they still lose. For instance, Mia's audition acts as the inflection point for both her and Seb.
When you get this, you gotta give it everything you got.
Goals are achieved, obsession satiated, but they don't make it as a couple.
Everything. It's your dream.
In fact, the sliding doors moment played out in the final scene indicates that if they had stayed together, only Mia would have made it. Therefore, through his characters, Chazelle is communicating that dreams are inherently painful.
Why don't you want to do it anymore?
Because they think it hurts a little bit too much.
Most likely, you're not going to achieve them, but if you do, it's probably going to hurt a hell of a lot to get there.
Neiman, you lost the fucking part.
No, I didn't. Look, you can't fucking do this, Karen.
And for the most part, it seems like Chazelle's characters understand this transaction. In Whiplash, Andrew alienates his family.
You think Carlton football's a joke? Come play with us.
4 words you will never hear from the NFL.
He almost dies in a car crash. He dumps his girlfriend and he gets kicked out of college, all chasing his dream. But in its own twisted way, this smile at the end seems to validate the pain because he made it. He did what he wanted to do. In La La Land, Seb and Mia lose one another chasing their dreams.
It's over.
But with this closing nod, they seem to acknowledge that their relationship was a casualty they were willing to accept on the way to their respective success. Admittedly, Babylon's a bit darker. Manny realizes that the industry he idolized for so long has corrupted him and he loses the love of his life.
Nelly! Nelly!
But his tears at the end, at least to me, acknowledge the joy he experienced reaching his goal. Conversely, both Nellie and Jack achieve their dreams, but are unable to reconcile with the fact that they might have already peaked. Therefore, unlike the other characters, their pain comes after success, which seems to be Chazelle commenting on the all-consuming paradox of chasing greatness.
Because it's bigger than you.
Once we reach the top, we'll always want to climb higher. This has been one of the main problems with human nature forever. That's why people start wars and stuff. Now, please note that I'm merely extrapolating what I think Chazelle is saying about greatness, as his movies are intentionally ambiguous. I've never been a musical or creative wonderkin, so you might have a completely different read on his messaging because you can empathize with the characters more. Maybe you've been pushed to achieve greatness, maybe it's worked, maybe it hasn't. But no matter what, I think his movies connect with so many people because ambition remains one of those intangible human qualities. We all want something.
Say it.
We all strive for more.
I'm here for a reason.
And so we all see little parts of ourselves in his characters.
Cool.